2020 was full of eye opening experiences and lessons for all of us, and we thought that it was only a one of a kind year to teach us so much. But then came along 2021 and all that it brought. Amid all the eventfulness in financial markets, here are some highlights. Many IPOs listed at handsome premiums. Debt funds gave insipid returns in 2021, barring the credit risk category. After lagging behind silver for some time, gold has outperformed of late. The large cap indices rose about 20% during the year 2021, while mid and small cap stocks rose even more. Rupee weakened against the dollar in 2021, and government bond yields moved up during the year. As we set foot into 2022, equity markets are looking more precarious, and debt markets are expecting rate hikes. In this video, we reached out to several personal finance experts who share their take on what financial resolutions and practices will help us improve our money matters in the new year 2022. Let's start with equity investments. With markets looking overvalued, experts are advising a tactical cut in equity allocation.
My financial resolution for the year 2022 is basically avoid risk. We have gone through a situation where interest rates have been very low and liquidity has been more than abundant. I expect this liquidity to go away slowly from the system, as well as interest rates to inch up mildly. I would avoid all risky investments like leveraged equity trades or even higher than normal exposure to equities. I would feel that while debt may give modest returns, but they will be positive. So my resolution is not to get tempted by the risky asset classes and avoid risk at all costs.
Rahul Shah, co-head of research at Equity Master, gives us some math to keep in mind when investing in equities cautiously. Stock investors, you want to pay close attention to this.
My financial resolution for the year 2022 would be to encourage investors to follow the 25-50-75 rule. Every year on 31st December, investors should decide whether to stay 25% invested in stocks, 50% invested, or 75% invested. And this decision should be based on the broader market valuation. He can be totally flexible with this allocation but should have at least 25% invested in each asset class at all times. Right now, the Sensex PE stands at around 27 times. This is significantly higher than the long-term average. So if he is setting on almost 100% stocks in his portfolio or close to that, it is perhaps time to take it down to at least 75% if not lower. And if he's really sure of a crash coming in 2022, he can even be only 25% in stocks. The choice is his, with the only condition being stock allocation should not exceed 75%. Which stocks should he sell? Here again, the 25-50-75 rule can come in handy. Grade A stocks, which are the best quality businesses, can be sold to the extent of only 25%. Grade B stocks, which are decent businesses, but not as good as grade A, can be sold up to 50%. And grade C, which are junk stocks, but which have gone up because of the overall positive mood, can be sold to the extent of 75%. So there's the 25-50-75 rule. The beauty of this rule is that it allows you to book profits after every significant rise in the market and also allows you to put money back to work after every significant fall. In short, it allows you to do the right thing from a long-term perspective. So do try out this 25-50-75 rule.
Now, other than equities, one aspect that gathered momentum and caught many investors' fancy, especially the younger lot, has been cryptocurrency. So naturally, we had to consult an expert to find out how to play this trend, which has been in the news for a while now.
There are three kinds of main reasons why I think you and everyone else should allocate anywhere from 2% to 5% of your net wealth into crypto. The first one is that crypto is the internet native way of how money should work, money should move, and value should be captured. And just because how the internet has grown, I believe that as the internet grows further and penetrates more and more and more industries and areas, crypto will be the default way with which we make payments, exchange value, and so on and so forth, right? The second thing is, kind of sort of at a more risk level, crypto is diversifying your risk across an asset class that's not correlated with other markets, right? For example, gold and Bitcoin are completely uncorrelated. So is stock market and Bitcoin. And that uncorrelation helps you improve the output of your overall portfolio. And lastly, it of course helps that crypto is also the fastest growing asset class in the world. And that fastest growing asset class of course comes with high returns, at the same time high risk. And as long as you're not putting in your entire net worth or significantly large amounts onto crypto, I definitely think you should start experimenting with small amounts and adding this asset class to your overall portfolio for the year 2022.
To round up investment takeaways for 2022, Milan Ganatra, founder and CEO of One Silver Bullet, shares insights for investors and savers.
My suggestion would be A, in case you're doing a job or any kind of income which you may have, put 10% aside into a regular savings plan. That means I would suggest you put into a systematic investment plan with your current age, should invest into equities. So that's one. Secondly, whenever spend and save. So whenever you guys are spending money, let's say you're going to Starbucks, spending a 350 rupees on a cup of coffee, round it off to the nearest 500 rupees, you're going to put 150 rupees aside at the same moment and make sure this habit continues. This would help you to build a large capital in coming days.
Risk seems to be the common point of contention for all our experts who seem to and wish to emphasize its importance for you. Here's what Rakesh Jain, CEO, Reliance General Insurance, Co Limited, says.
What I would recommend to everybody is that most of us now possess a lot of valuable assets like motor, home. We need to take the insurance at the right time so that nothing unforeseen comes and hits you. When it comes to health, I guess we need to maintain the good lifestyle. We maintain with good health, then it's really enjoying your life in the biggest way. Please see that you have adequate health insurance in the coming year. Learning to live with COVID is the best way of defining your existence. Fearing something which you can't avoid is not sensible. So all said and done, the new year should bring you a lot of good wishes. Good wishes should be supplemented with good planning, and insurance can be your best support, your best friend, and your best guide.
Naveen Chandani, MD and CEO of Trip Highmark, stresses on an often neglected aspect of financial planning and personal finance.
My resolution for the new year are three things. First, financial discipline. Second, financial discipline. Third, financial discipline. And how do I do that? Ensure I pay my EMI and credit card bills on time. That leads to a healthy credit score. Create an emergency fund and ensure that me and my family have a good medical and life insurance. All the best.
Last but not the least, we touch upon a topic that many do indeed leave for the last minute: estate planning and succession. Rajmohan Krishnan, principal founder and MD of Entrust Family Office, leaves us with some very profound tips. Take notes.
The pandemic created havoc amongst people, and most of them would have lost their dear and near at some point of time during the last 2 years. This makes us think, what could be the best New Year resolution? The resolution could be to have a very safe and nice succession plan, which is extremely important for each one of us. When we say succession, it could be starting from a very simple will, so that the family members will not struggle post the demise of any individual, sudden demise I would say, of any individual. So there could be families who would have little more complications than having a will. They could look at setting up a family trust, and that is going to be the most important and also diligent succession planning which one could make.
We hope you adopt at least a few of these resolutions and are better prepared financially in 2022. With that, we sign off and wish you great health, lots of wealth, and a safe and sound new year. Stay tuned with us for more.